Abhishek, begin.
A very good morning to our principal, Mr. John Andrew Bagul, and all present here. Today's event is a very special one. Special in the sense that it is the first ever virtual inter-house English extempore competition held in South City International School. Yes, we are going through COVID-19 pandemic, but nothing is impossible, and our spirits are unputdownable. Our school has organized such competitions in the past, are doing the same now, and will continue to do so in the future for our learning community. So here we are today. I promise we are going to have a very, very enjoyable event and an enriching one. Now, I request you all to rise for the school song.
spirit of South City. Forward looking, steadfastness will surely bring out godliness.
After all that is said and done, let's sing in unison. Despair, hope, darkness and light will be there in our lives. It's we who must rise and run, for in the end of time, who will emerge always. Courage to destiny, dismiss the spirit of some city. Forward look out our very best. Forward looking, steadfastness will surely bring out our very best. Our very best.
लेकिन जाओ उधर अभी ध्यान दिस इज यूट्यूब या ना दिस इज नॉट यूट्यूब दिस इज Zoom. Zoom में तो तुमको ऐसे दिखेगा
A very good morning to everyone watching today. I warmly welcome you to South City International School's first ever inter-house English extempore competition. I take this opportunity to begin with The Mountain by Laura Edwards. If the mountain seems too big today, then climb a hill instead. If the morning brings you sadness, okay to stay in bed. If the day ahead weighs heavy and your plans feel like a curse, there's no shame in rearranging. Don't make yourself feel worse. If a shower stings like needles and a bath feels like you'll drown, if you haven't washed your hair for days, don't throw away your crown. A day is not a lifetime. A rest is not defeat. Don't think of it as failure, just a quiet, kind retreat. It's okay to take a moment from an anxious, fractured mind. The world will not stop turning while you get realigned. The mountain will still be there. When you want to try again, you can climb it in your own time. Just love yourself till then. The hope within our human selves is truly untouched by the deluge of obstacles that have come our way this year. We are still grounded in faith, for this too shall pass, and we are constantly trying our best to adapt with and overcome the challenges placed before us. Although we may not be together on this August day, technology has effectively broken down the walls of a school environment and opened up the sky. In the new normal, we are being able to hone our speaking skills, presence of mind, and knowledge from the comfort of our homes. Today, we are joined by three illustrious judges with immense expertise in the field of public speaking and elocution. Our first judge for the day is Mrs. Indrani Mitra, an English teacher at Le Martiniere for Girls, Kolkata. She is trained as a CISE master instructor and has conducted several workshops organized by the council in Kolkata and elsewhere. As a student, Mrs. Mitra was passionate about a wide range of sports and public speaking events. She has taken forth her pursuits as a teacher by being actively involved in the fields of elocution, debate, dramatics, and quiz. It is a privilege to have you with us, ma'am. Our second
Thank you.
esteemed
Thank you.
judge. Our second esteemed judge is Mrs. Anjana Chatterjee, a senior English teacher at the Future Foundation School, who has been associated with it for the last 33 years. She is an advocate of inclusive and holistic education propounded by Sri Aurobindo and the Mother, and believes that character development is as important as scoring marks. We are honored to have an educator like you in our midst, ma'am. Our third and final judge for today's Inter-House English Extempore competition is Mrs. Bhashwati Mukhopadhyay, who has been associated with St. Xavier's Panihati for almost 31 years as a senior secondary English teacher. She is of the opinion that skills are like knives. They wear out with time and need to be refurbished regularly. Ma'am, thank you for joining us as our budding speakers compete with each other despite the setbacks of a global pandemic.
Thank you.
I shall now go over the rules and rubrics of the competition to acquaint our participants, judges, and the audience. Each participant has been allotted a total of 2 minutes to speak. A bell will be sounded at 1.5 minutes, after which they will be given 30 seconds to wrap up. Should the senior speakers overshoot this time limit, judges please note that they should not be penalized for it. Participants will be marked on the following criteria, each weighing 10 points: content, voice modulation, pronunciation, presentation, and spontaneity. And lastly, each topic will be displayed on the screen for 1 minute, during which participants will be allowed to prepare. That being said, I now hand over to Shaurya Kavatia, who will take you through today's proceedings. Over to you, Shaurya.
Thank you, Roshni. Life is like a speech. Don't learn it, let it be an extempore. Welcome to the annual Inter-House English Extempore competition. We have 4 houses. They are Philosopher Yellow, Achiever Green, Creator Red, and Innovator Blue. We have 4 categories in this competition: Category A, B, C, and D. We begin with Category A, Class 6. The first participant is Mahika Chatterjee from Philosopher House. Go ahead, Mahika, choose the topic. You will get 1 minute to think.
Good morning. My name is Mahika Chatterjee from class 6. I choose topic 3. Old age.
Your time starts now.
Elderly people are the pillars of our society. Without them, the society is incomplete. Before this century, people used to live in joint families, but now everyone lives in nuclear families, and they have a lot of work, and they think that elderly people are a burden for them. Some people also put elderly people into old age homes, but I think that they should not do that, because elderly people also have feelings. They also feel lonely in the old age homes, and they have some older people who are in the same age, but still they feel very lonely. They miss their family each and every hour. One such experience is mine. One day I went to my grandparents' house, and I saw that my grandpa bought a new smartphone. I told him that, do you know how to use it? He was very confused. He looked at me and said, can you please teach me? Because I cannot even understand how to scroll. Then I said that fine, let's sit and I will teach you how to do it. We sat and we had a lots of fun. I taught him how to do WhatsApp, Facebook. Then I also taught him how to scroll. But he was always like, how do you do this? He could not scroll at any chance. But then when I taught him, he was so happy. His eyes were full of happiness. And I also felt very happy. I think that they should not be put in old age care. Why don't you take your responsibility? When you were small, the elderly people were even your parents and they took care of you. Why won't you do anything for them? When I went to my grandparents' house, my grandma was so happy. She said that, wow, you are so grown up. And I was so happy. And then I was like, that why are you not using your smartphone, grandpa? But he was very sad and told that I accidentally broke it. I was very sad that time. I taught him and we had so much fun, but he broke it. I told him, why did you break it? He was very sad. He did not answer me. But then, when his birthday came, I gifted him that phone again. He was so happy, and I was also very happy. When I was leaving the house, my grandma was very sad. She was very sad and telling me, why are you leaving? Why can't you stay only one day long? And I was like, Grandma, I will come back again. You don't have to be sad. And when she said that, always, please, always, you're welcome to my house. And that time, I always remember of one song, Agar Tum Saath Ho. पल पर ठहर जाओ दिल ये संभल जाए कैसे तुम्हें रोका करूं मेरी तरफ आता हर गम फिसल जाए आंखों में तुमको भरूं बिन बोले बात तुमसे करूं अगर तुम साथ हो. And then she became happy and removed her tears. I said that I will come back again and I will also make you very happy. Then when I was coming back, I saw an old person who was blind and could not cross the road. I told my mom that, Mom, can't we help him? My mom said, sure, you can of course help him. Then we went to him and told that, please follow me. I held his hand and helped him cross the road. He was so happy and he blessed me with all his heart. And I felt very happy that day. Thank you.
Thank you, Mahika. To follow it up, we have Arya Navlani from Achiever House. Please choose the topic, Arya. You will get 1 minute to think.
Good morning. I am Arya Navlani and I choose topic 1. Good morning. I am Arya Navlani and I choose topic 1. Yes.
Your time starts now.
The child is the man's father. William Wordsworth said in the future, that he will shadow the experience of childhood. Children have been granted noble ideas to grow up into their country's obliging people. It is not only destructive to make them work at a tender age, but it also damages the world. It is tragic that the children have to work to live. The hands which are to carry books and toys are used to do difficult manual work. They are exposed to the harsh truth of life, and their impressive minds. For children from the weaker sections of society, there is no security. They are subject to different forms of violence and abuse. Their parents cannot afford to send them to work in workshops, factories, homes, advertising areas, services, and in unhygienic and unsafe conditions for longer hours. Child labor is a gross violation of human rights in risky sectors. Children usually get severely injured while doing manual work. A lot of accidents happen, and sometimes these accidents result in death. In addition to working in hazardous workplaces, children are also active in industries' most risky procedures. Being weak and undemanding, they are susceptible to exploitation. They have to work in hazardous sectors of the industries for long hours with minimum or no wage. Overall, I think that child labor is one of the worst, let's just say, they are the worst systems which are being followed in our society. Thank you.
Thank you, Arya. The next participant is Nishank Dev from Creator House. Kindly choose the topic, Nishank. You will get 1 minute to think.
Good morning. I am Nishank De. Topic.
Ask Nishank to choose your topic.
Nishank De, and I choose topic number 4.
Your time starts now.
I never lose. I either win or learn, said by Nelson Mandela. Bullying is such a thing where if I make the tiniest mistake, I am told off by other people. But everyone makes mistakes. Good morning. I am Nishank De from class 6. I'm from Creator House. I think that people should actually be more considerate towards people who are weak and school or any environment. It can be for any reason like what class they are in, racism, which country they come from, and many more. We can see that the child was carrying books and children were surrounding her in a group. It can be for any reason. Let me tell you, such an incident happened to me as well. I remember when I was living in Abu Dhabi, I was criticized because I was an Indian. I had to sit in the corner of my playground hoping that my teacher would come to save me from the other children who were Canadians and other countries. I never said anything to them. But now, when I'm older, I understand that basically I think they were the ones who had a problem. But I can't point my fingers at others. It could also be me. I first need to correct myself. I even heard the story that we can't fumble in anything. We must make ourselves better. We must try to help the people who are bullying us. Maybe we will see that even they are helping us one day. Thank you.
Thank you, Nisham. The last participant from category A is Ryan Guha Thakurta from Innovator House. I would request the fourth speaker to speak on the remaining topic. You will get 1 minute to think.
Good morning. I am Ryan Guha Thakurta and I am going to speak on topic 2.
Your time starts now.
Home is the absolute foundation through which we can tackle the effects of poverty on society and its vicious cycle. Home is the key to a living life of dignity and opportunity, free from exclusion, fear, or neglect. With the help of other people, the children who are underprivileged can have a roof above their heads. Children who are underprivileged and are poverty do not have houses to live in. They have to live in open areas or under sheds of various places. Families who live in a properly constructed home are less likely to fall prey to such diseases and are better equipped to recover from any illnesses they may contract. People who do not have a place to live in may come in contact with diseases which they cannot able to handle and be affected and may also die. To make matters even worse, the couple used to suffer with leprosy and even today bear the scars of this debilitating disease. Children are also to develop into responsible adults as they experience security and see their own parents taking care of homes. For adults, home is key to maintaining employment and provides opportunities for income generation by the creation of home-based small business. In the picture, as we see the two underprivileged children staying under the leaves in the rain. This shows that how poverty can affect the life of children and the deliberation of houses that they cannot afford. There is plenty enough research showing that growing up in an unsafe environment not only affects children's health seriously, but also as a result of this, the attendance of school is also not neglected. Children fall prey to various diseases and branches where they cannot recover from these illnesses. For the past, there are various people who do not know where to live or where to stay. They do not have a place of income from where they can get a shed on their homes. Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. We come to the end of category A, and I request Saundarya to continue with the next category.
Thank you, Shaurya. Words have incredible power. They can make people's hearts soar. And indeed, the students of class 6 have spoken marvelously. Now let's move on to category B, classes 7 and 8. Our first participant is Gianna Dagar from Philosopher House. Gianna, please choose your topic. You get 1 minute to think.
A very good morning to everyone present here. I'm Gianna Dagar of Class 8. I choose topic 1.
Your time starts now.
Okay. As it is often said, actions speak louder than words. Well, as this saying suggests, doing something shows that you actually care about it and just not always talking about it. And that is what we have to do if we want to help protect and save our resources for the future generation. By small acts like maybe turning off the tap while brushing our teeth, or by turning the ignition when waiting at the traffic signal, by turning off the unnecessary lights, or by just replacing maybe plastic bags with reusable ones. Doing these small little acts, they can have such a huge positive impact on our earth and our environment. Like, by recycling one aluminum can, it can save enough power to to enough electricity to power a TV for 3 hours. And then if every year if we recycle newspapers, we can save to about like 25 crore trees each year. So you see, by just doing small little acts, they can have such a good impact on our earth and environment. Lastly, I would like to quote a few lines by the poem The Heart of the Tree by Henry Bunn. uh, what does he plant who plants a tree? He plants a friend of sun and sky. He plants cool shade and tender rain. He plants in sap and leaf and wood. The meaning, it is simple. It is how a tree, it helps life, it helps to sustain life on earth, and how it is important for the overall growth and development of a nation. And that how every day we must make an effort and plant as many trees as possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Gianna. Our next participant is Arjun Sarkar from Achiever House. Go ahead, Arjo. Choose the topic. You will also get 1 minute to think.
Good morning. My name is Arjun Sarkar from class 7 and I choose topic number 4.
Your time starts now.
Morning, everyone present here. My name is Arjun Sarkar from class 7, and I will be speaking on the topic Manners Maketh a Man. Who are you? What is it about you that makes you unique? Is it your ability to do something good for the world? Is it your ambience, your aura, something that will make everyone turn around and look at you the moment you step into the room? Well, we all know that it is pleasant to be around a person who has nice manners, a person who has the dignity to smile whenever he meets someone new, a person who will start a conversation without being afraid, a person whose confidence gives other people's confidence. You see, manners are something that can define a person. And in this line, manners maketh a man, it doesn't just mean in literal terms a man. It could be a woman, a child, or anybody. You see, manners are the basic foundation of every person. Without them, well, you're just one of those rowdy hooligans on the street who can do whatever they want without any sufferings. You see, what it takes to be a good human being is beyond something that is very easy to achieve. If you want easy,
Warning bell rung.
if you want easy, then you can be someone that no one cares about. But when you learn to accept the difficulties of life and become someone great, learn that your manners and etiquette are who defines you. I don't mean that you have to define yourself and prove yourself in front of the world, but prove to yourself that you are a good human being, someone who
Final
has
bell.
courage to be good. Thank you.
Thank you, Arjo. Coming up next, we have Noyanika Bhattacharya from Creator House. Noyanika, please choose your topic. You will also get 1 minute to think.
Good morning. I am Nayonika Bhattacharya and I choose topic 3.
Your time starts now.
Good morning. I'm Nayonika Bhattacharya from class 7, section C, and I will be speaking on the topic the things that I like being a teenager. Being a teenager is being from the age of from 13 to 19. Being a teenager both has its positive sides and its negative sides. The negative sides definitely being the mood swings. Some moment I am feeling happy, cheerful, and ready to conquer the world, and the other moments I just feel like I will sleep and do nothing. The best part about being the teenager is a middle school. Now, as you all know, there are both good sides and bad sides of being in middle school. The good sides include the friends we make, and the bad sides include numerous amount of studies and projects we have to go through. Now, the friends we make in middle schools are often the friends who stay with us for life. It is what I have heard from my seniors. Being a teenager definitely has, as I said before, both its good qualities and bad qualities. But it is up to us that we do not let the bad points of our teenage years overcome the good points. We define ourselves
And I would say that being a teenager is a very fun experience, especially being 13. I myself am not yet 13. I will turn 13 next year. But I must definitely say that I am really excited to get 13. Thank you.
Thank you, Noinika. The last participant from category B is Panya Bagaria from Innovator House. I would like the fourth speaker to speak on the remaining topic. You will also get 1 minute to think.
Good morning, I am Panya Bagaria from class 7 and I will be speaking on the topic 2.
Your time starts now.
I think that creativity isn't something that can be taught because creativity comes naturally to people. Webster's dictionary states that creativity is the ability to create. If you can create something then you are a creative person. Expanding your brain will accelerate your creative potential. In this lockdown, I have realized a lot of creative things that you can do. I have learned many more skills and many more things that made me better and increased my potential. I have learned that gardening can be therapeutical, but also very creative. Creativity awakens the mind, and experience can bring creativity, just like teachers. And I would like to conclude with saying, creativity power is the power of your mind to
Thank you, Panya. Now I hand over to Priyasha Sanyal to carry on with the proceedings of Category C, classes 9 and 10.
I think Priyasha is having some trouble with her audio connection. She'll be joining us shortly. Uh, Having borne witness to the thought-provoking and profound performances of our junior participants, we are reminded of a few lines said by Maya Angelou. People will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel. Our participants today have evoked from within us a myriad of emotions, which has us waiting eagerly for the participants of our upcoming categories. We now move into category C, comprising students from classes 9 and 10. Before we begin, I would like to request all meeting participants other than the participants speaking at the moment to keep their videos and microphones off to ensure a smooth proceeding of events. On this note, I would now like to invite our first participant of this category, Arya Datta of Philosopher House, to choose her topic.
Very good morning to one and all present here. I am Arya Datta of class 9. and I choose topic 4.
Your time starts now.
Mental hygiene is very important, and especially in a developing country like ours, it is. With every passing day, our country develops. And do we? We don't. The modern thoughts are very different from what we had previously. Technology is developing, our country is developing, but we aren't. Few people are, but still, there are some conservative people. I don't think that they should be more like so conservative, but they can be a bit more modern. Dealing with the fact that a lot of mental health awareness has risen during this pandemic situation, and people are more aware of about mental health and what is to be done and what not. People are more open about this topic more than they were previously. They now these days there are a lot more programs happening to make people aware about the importance of mental health, because mental health is as important as physical health. It is very important for us to make sure that we are mentally happy and healthy, because if we aren't
Morning bell.
because if we aren't, there isn't any chance that we are going to be happy with our work that we do and with the people around us. It is so important to increase the awareness about it, because so many deaths has happened in the pandemic that now it's
Final
it's
bell.
main time that we are very aware about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Arshia. Up next, we have Priyanka Shetty of Achiever House. Please choose your topic, Priyanka.
Good morning to one and all present here. I am Priyanka Shetty of class 9 and I choose topic 3.
Your time starts now.
Good morning to one and all present here. I am Priyanka Shetty of class 9 and I will be speaking on the topic Beauty Pageants Are Empowering for Women. Yes, I believe that beauty pageants have a huge impact on women empowerment and can give the girls and women an upliftment and a strong spirit because it gives them a platform to be heard and seen and a way for other people to see themselves and so that they can feel stronger about themselves. Of course, the age old beauty pageant stereotype about just being about women's bodies and their looks, and it doesn't apply anymore because times have changed. People, they don't care about your looks anymore. It doesn't matter. What matters is inside, what is inside, and your confidence. Whether you are strong, whether you love yourself, whether you believe in it, whether you are empowered by what you do and see and believe in. So, yes, I believe that beauty pageants indeed can be empowering for women nowadays. Of course, with earlier it wasn't the case because the general audience didn't believe so because they had certain stereotypes and expectations that they had to fit into. Now the stereotypes are still there. I cannot say that there aren't any stereotypes or expectations which are still there, but I would have to say that they are slowly decreasing. There has been a decrease in
Warning
such
bell.
narrow-minded stereotypes and ways of looking at people and women's bodies. So I would like to conclude by stating that that beauty pageants are a strong platform for women to feel empowered and to showcase themselves in an empowered way. Thank you.
Thank you, Priyanka, for the delightful speech. We now have our third participant of Category C, Arushi Dubey of the Creator House. Arushi, kindly choose your topic. You will have 1 minute to think about it.
Very good morning. I'm Arushi Dubey from class 10 and I choose topic number 2.
Your time starts now.
Mahatma Gandhi said, "Be the change you want to see in the world." Good morning. I'm Arushi Dubey and I will be speaking on the topic Charity does not alleviate poverty. Since our childhood, we are taught to give, to donate, to help those who are not as privileged as us. And at times, especially now during this year, when some of us have the privilege of being at our homes and being able to access all our facilities online, we must think about those who are suffering, those who do not have the same powers as us. I strongly believe that the habit of donating and of giving a part of what you can to help others is extremely important. But, however, doing charity for the sake of it will not solve the problem. There are people who are in dire need of our help, of our resources. But we should allocate these resources properly in such a way so that these actually need those who deserve them, who actually reach those who deserve them. It does not what we see with most charities is that a lot of money is taken by the organizations themselves and we are not sure of how much actually reaches people who need it. As privileged people, we have the resources, we have the time,
Morning bell.
And we should utilize it in the best way possible. If we take the matter in our own hands, go personally, take initiatives with our friends and our families, and do what we can for the society, that is what will make the change. Educate people around you on what you can do, and do everything in your power to make sure that you are doing your best. Thank you.
Thank you, Arushi, for sharing your thoughts. We now have our last participant of this category, Rishabh Mitra of Innovator House. Rishabh, kindly choose your topic and you have 1 minute to think about it.
A very good morning. I am Rishabh Mitra and I will be speaking on the remaining topic, that is topic 1.
Your time starts now.
Good morning. I am Rishabh Mitra and I shall be speaking on the topic Technology Dulls the Mind. In this global pandemic situation that we find ourselves in, indeed, we are all dependent on technology. This program taking place right now is through the computer that I see everyone else in. And so our dependence on technology has increased manifold. But technology has many effects to our mind. It affects the cerebral growth of a person. It makes that person feel much more dull because they do not use their creative and imaginative powers. A lot of their work is done just through that screen. And so, especially in the case of children who are now more dependent on a laptop or a phone or even a television, they no longer read tales about gypsies and dragons and queens and sharks and whales. And the creative and imaginative mind of a person freezes and we become much more dull. We stay within our zone, and we only and it also distances us from our families, because in a lot of the family dinners or lunches, we just operate on our phones and don't spend time with our family. So it makes people more dependent on the technological devices that they are using, and everything is
Warning
just
bell.
right. No longer do we need to search in Oxford dictionaries to find meanings of words. And finally, I feel that it is much better for us to pick up a book, to read that book, to see what that person is trying to put forward to us, and to let go of the computer or the cell phone, and once again renew our creative and imaginative minds, because the excessive
Final bell.
Makes our mind dull, and it makes us and it destroys the thinking powers within us. Thank you.
Thank you, Rishabh. With that, we come to the end of Category C, which brought into our lives a bunch of truly unique performances. I now hand over today's proceedings to Roshni Banerjee to continue with Category D.
Thank you, Priyasha. It is often said that you can speak well if you deliver the message of your heart. I can vouch for the passion and confidence it takes to speak your heart spontaneously, and I believe that our students are doing a phenomenal job. Moving on to our oldest and most experienced students, Category D, comprising classes 11 and 12. I would request all 4 speakers to keep their videos on throughout to ensure fair and seamless proceedings. Our first speaker from Category D is Anish Kumar Arun from Philosopher House. All the best, Anish. Please choose your topic.
A very good morning to everybody watching. My name is Anish Kumar Arun and I'll go for topic number 2.
Your time starts now.
A very good morning once again. So the question that has been posed to me today is one that is very interesting, a question that has multiple layers to it. And that is whether climate change is a bigger problem than COVID-19. But to be very honest, what I think about this question is it's the equivalent of asking what is worse when you break your hand or if you break your leg. Both are equally bad, and having an either or situation might be very foolish of us. Both these issues threaten, both these issues threaten humanity, both these issues are equally as bad, and in fact, both these issues might be bringing upon the same vices. And the first one, and the biggest problem that is common amongst both of these is the misinformation. Both of these problems can be solved pretty normally if misinformation is removed. Now let's look at climate change. Climate change over the last 2 or 3 decades, there have been multiple papers proving that climate change is real, climate change is a problem and we should start working on it. But then there are some real gems of people who disprove of climate change because, and this is hilarious, because of winters, because it's cooling and that's why there is no climate change, everything is hunky-dory. And the equivalent is with the COVID-19 pandemic. Numerous papers have shown that vaccines work, but there are a few gems of people who believe that vaccines cause autism. And that's just one of the many similarities between both. Both of these are problems that will keep affecting us a long time down the road. Both of these problems will only go if we start fighting collectively. And both of these problems will only go if we start being a little selfish. Now, why selfish, you say? Because at the end of the day, selfishness is our best weapon through both the pandemic and in solving global warming. And that is because being selfish is not a bad thing. Being selfish doesn't mean that you're not doing your duties towards the environment or towards fighting the pandemic. Selfishness is the want for us to preserve ourselves. And if because of me being selfish, I stay at home and not spread the virus, or if because of me being selfish, I can secure my future, it's not a bad thing for me. And I would like to remind everybody that there are 7 billion of us. Imagine if all of us are selfish and all of us try to do our part, if not for anybody else, just for ourselves. How good would the world be? At the end of the day, it's all about manipulating human nature. Like everything, human nature can turn into a vice, or it can be used as a weapon to fight for the greater good. And that is what I'm trying to convey over here. If we just tap into our selfishness, we won't have to argue about which problem is bigger, but we'll be able to solve both at the same time. Thank you.
Thank you, Anish. It reminds me of flat earthers and anti-vaccinators. It reminds me of Einstein's quote: "There are two things in the universe that are infinite. One is the universe, and the second is human stupidity." And I'm not so sure about the universe. Up next, we have Dave Thomas from Achiever House. The mic is yours, Dave.
A very good morning. I will choose topic 3.
Not easy. This round, I hope Alex wins. I don't know about he is, how good he is. Dave Thomas. I don't know how good he is, Dave Thomas.
A very good morning, judges and my fellow students and teachers. I will be speaking on the topic racism and bigotry are ingrained in our minds. I do not at all agree and find it very sad that racism exists at all. Racism and bigotry have been historically used to put a certain group of people at the upper hand and give them more power and leverage over others. As we see this happen countless times with slavery and and methods to do one pop. Every time we see being used, it is simply to show one group inferior and justify how they are able to, how another race or group is able to rule over them and justify their evils. It's extremely sad that this still happens today. And racism is one of the problems that still taint our world. With the death of George Floyd this year, it's extremely sad to see how people are still have these preset notions in their mind. And we know that racism is not ingrained in people because it can be removed, because we've seen this happen. And though there are still people who are racist, they are people who have changed. And racism is just misinformation and ingraining of false facts over a long period of time. If we see it, it starts with education. With education, we can start removing these barriers that are posed to people, and racism can be reduced significantly. And yes, is a significant problem, but it can be challenged, and we need to fix this problem, as it is one of the things that holds us back a lot, especially in India and the rest of the world, because it separates us as human beings and dehumanizes some people to others. This is extremely worrying and sad, frightening, because it may lead to situations like in the past.
Final bell.
Hitler and the Nazis, and these are some of the reasons it happens. Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Dave. We were moved by your speech. Our penultimate participant for the day is Swastika Mukherjee from the Creator House. Best of luck, Swastika.
A very good morning to everybody. I am Swastika Mukherjee from the Creator House, grade 11, and I choose topic number 4.
Your time starts now.
A very good morning to everybody present here. I am Swastika Mukherjee of Creator House, and today I'll be speaking on the topic online services are a boon. Now, I don't need to give much justification to the topic because the topic is self-explanatory, especially during the last 10 months where we have been locked down and confined in our spaces due to the COVID-19 pandemic. We're sitting in a house and with just one click, we have non-contact deliveries delivered to our doorsteps. The human mind has forgotten what it feels like to go out. While it has its advantages, many people claim online services to be disturbing. It dulls the mind. It messes with the human nature. But I have a different stance. I believe it's not the online services that are a problem. It's the human usage of the online services that create a problem for ourselves. It is we who make the online services, we use it at a certain extent, which makes it bad for us. Imagine you have an 80-year-old in your house. How do you expect an 80-year-old to go out and buy groceries and buy the daily necessities? In his or her case, it's the online services that helps him sustain through this 10 months pandemic. In today's world, no matter what the age is, every person has the ability to use a smartphone and has access to every world. We are breaking down the walls of distance with the use of online services. The topic is pretty self-explanatory as it already shows us that online services are a boon. And if you talk about the bane, it's not the online services that are a bane. It's our excessive usage of it, which gives it a derogatory and a negative effect on the human mind. I would like to rest my case by mentioning that yes, introspect and retrospect for the last 10 months of the COVID-19 pandemic, and you will realize the online services are definitely a boon. With this, I rest my case. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Swastika. Our final speaker for today's Inter-House Extempore competition is Hiya Bhattacharjee from Innovator House. All the best, Hiya.
Good morning. I am Hiya Bhattacharjee of Class 11, and I will be speaking on the last topic. Excuse me, it's a bit blurry.
I'll read it out for you here. The pandemic has made us realize that it is not the cost of living, but the cost of lifestyle which is high.
Your time starts now.
Good morning, everyone present here. I am Hiya Bhattacharjee of Innovator House, and I'll be speaking on the topic given to me. During this COVID-19 pandemic, what were we all worried about? We were worried about the virus, being infected by it, other such situations happening. But let me ask you, because of this lockdown, what else is happening? Does anything cross your mind? Such as depression, abuse. During this lockdown period, I couldn't give my board exams properly. And oh my goodness, the dark place my mind went because I was stressed, I was frustrated. I couldn't do anything and I wanted to do everything. It felt like I was about to burst. Now, times a million. Like all of my other friends couldn't give their board exams properly and thus have faced the same problem. And what about abuse? Do we think about the people who live in such homes with toxic relationships or toxic parents? They are having to undergo a much difficult situation than we are.
Warning bell.
It is truly a terrible thing that is going on. And some people really do hope that the vaccine will come out any moment soon. But we still have to wait just a bit more. As one of my contenders said, that there is a lot of false information going on. Thank you.
Thank you, Hia. That was very thought-provoking. I remember Priyasha, when I started off speaking on stage as a little girl, my legs used to be jelly and my words were so hesitant. Hearing our bubbling speakers today, I am floored by their promptness. Every student is outdoing our expectations. It is lovely to hear the youth today get stimulated by issues both global and those closer to home, such as racism, feminism, climate change, education, and so on. I was particularly moved by a topic on charity. Last year, I had the pleasure and privilege of meeting Nobel laureate Abhijit Banerjee during a seminar on his book, Poor Economics. And he deliberates on how donations only increase the rift between the haves and the have-nots, how no country has crossed the barrier of poverty through charity. It takes employment, creation of jobs, cultivation of new skills to move the nation forward. This generation will grow up to be problem solvers as we pivot radically from creating only well-informed minds to creating well-formed minds. Indeed, our teachers are doing a splendid job in fostering a liberal mindset, ready to embrace the volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous world. What do you think, Priyasha?
Absolutely. The world we live in today is full of surprises and unprecedented situations, with simple gestures of community, such as embracing one another, becoming potentially life-threatening. The human race has been adapting to changes at a never-seen-before rate. We are always updating ourselves with developments taking place in science by the minute, and it is wonderful to see the world come together as one family, with people from different parts of the globe coming together in solidarity, supporting one another during these difficult times. This year has been a year of radical change. Whether it is with regards to social commentary on issues faced by our community for eons on end, or more recent issues such as those in relation to the pandemic, the global community has truly become one community. And this is what gives me hope for the future. The love shared by everyone will stand the test of time and be our lifeboat in this tempest of misfortune. This reminds me of a poem once penned by the great Emily Dickinson, which goes something like this. Hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. And sweetest in the gale is heard, and so must be the storm that could abash the little bird that kept so many warm. I've heard it in the chillest land and on the strangest sea, yet never in extremity it asked a crumb of me. Now, bringing us back to this exciting event that we just bore witness to, it seems as if the excitement in every household today is leaping through this Zoom call into my room. We can all feel the tensions rising among the participants and all of our viewers who are extremely anxious to hear the results. With the tabulations on, I would just like to share how grateful we are to our wonderful judges for being here today and lending their intellect to this much awaited event with their expertise, wisdom, and very precious time. I would like to take this opportunity to invite our judges to share their thoughts about today's virtual inter-house English extempore competition. Firstly, I would now like to invite Mrs. Indrani Mitra to say a few words.
Good morning. Can I be heard? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Good morning. So first of all, I'd like to take this opportunity to really thank South City High School as well as your principal, Mr. Bagul, for having me here. It's been a wonderful, wonderful morning. Now, it is an honor to be here. I always knew. But what I hadn't bargained for is what a delight it was to be here and to hear all of you speaking with such confidence and such poise. So I'm really happy to be a part of this exciting event. But more than that, what I realized was that the participants, you all were so effortless, because I know for a fact that speaking in an extempore is hard work. It's quite a challenge. I know for certain, because it can be quite intimidating. You need a lot of confidence. You need a lot of courage. You need a lot of critical thinking, a logical mind, a presence of mind. And y'all did that so wonderfully well. Even the young students of class 6, they were on their feet, figuratively, of course. And also, furthermore, I think it was a challenge because we are doing it on an entirely new platform, a virtual platform, a very unusual platform, which we are all getting used to. So in my opinion, you all are all winners. All of you are winners. And because you all have displayed such good oratory skills, and I'm certain it will only get better with time. You will develop it further and become great public speakers, which we really need at this time of this time and age. We really need good public speakers who can be the game changers, who can be influencers, who can help us to change this world. Furthermore, I would also like to comment on the topics that were chosen. They were very meaningful and very contemporary, pressing issues. What made it even more interesting was some of the topics were highly debatable. I mean, you could go either way and still come out a winner. So that is what I would really like to say today, that I thank the organizers, I thank the children for all their effort, I thank the organizers for conducting this with such precision. Everything went up so smoothly with such clockwork precision that it's really impressive. And thanks to modern technology that we are able to connect in spite of all the restrictions of this pandemic. It's a wonderful thing, this modern technology. Of course, there are ills and goods everywhere. And finally, I'd like to end this with a congratulations to all the winners. For me, everyone was a winner, but because it's a competition, some have to be chosen above others. So congratulations to winners, all the winners, and those who haven't made it in the ranks today. Remember, the mountain will still be there for you to try again. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your inspiring thoughts. I would now like to invite Ms. Anjana Chatterjee to share her thoughts with us today.
Thank you. I take this opportunity to thank each one of you, the organizers, principal sir, for inviting me to this wonderful event. I had never thought it would turn out to be such a success. I'm sure everyone was keeping their fingers crossed, and eventually you have done a great, great job. Each and every speaker, right from class 6 to 12, they spoke with such confidence. And it's not an easy job to, just get 1 minute and then try and speak on it, speak things that are very relevant. And I'm sure each one of you will be very satisfied at the end of it all. Some of you probably have, will probably become great speakers in future. Some of you can improve upon what you have done today. Extempore is a speech, and it is not only a test of your language skills, but also a test of your quick thinking, your wit, your general awareness, and time management. It is quite a difficult thing to prepare yourselves and still be impressive in such a short while. Competition often helps bring out the best, and today has not been an exception. I think each one of you has given your best, and wishing you all the best for your future. And like my previous speaker, Mrs. Mitra said, each one of you is a winner, and I wish you all the best. And I'm sure that you will take the world to a greater heights. Thank you so much for having me here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for enlightening us today with your words. Last but not the least, we would like to invite our third judge for today's enthralling competition, Ms. Bhashati Mukherjee.
Thank you. At the very onset, I would like to thank South City International for allowing me to, it's like reliving my school days, the days when I had to speak on stage and how nervous I am, how nervous I was. And it's quite similar, like I could feel each one of you, your pulse and everything. And it is really indeed a very commendable thing to think in this way, like, the extempore can go on online, and it can be done online, and the children are given topics which are so very thought provoking. They had to think on it. They had to they were allowed to, besides sitting at home and attending classes, this is indeed a different way given to the children to think differently, to think on the contemporary topics, to think on the various problems that we are facing today. And it is a development on their part as well. So it was really, I enjoyed each and every speaker. The little children spoke so well, the elderly ones, I learned from you, your way of thinking. Actually, children, when the children speak, the children think, the way they are thinking, it makes us updated with the contemporary, with the, how you people are thinking. It is like learning from you. It keeps our age, to your age. So that is again, something which I enjoyed a lot. Each one of you spoke well, and of course, all the best for each one of you. And do remember, that thought process can never be complete without articulation. So speaking well is a weapon. You can win over by your speech, by your language, the way you present yourself. And of course, sometimes you have to say negative things, but the way you say it, you shouldn't be rude, but then you put forward your views, how you're going to do it. These are the things which we all should keep on learning. And of course, uh, each one of you did that very well. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much, judges, for inspiring our young speakers today. With that, I would now like to hand over the rest of today's proceedings to Ms. Dolly Chaudhary, our senior coordinator, to announce today's much-awaited results. Thank you.
Thank you, Priyasha. Good morning to our principal, the esteemed judges, participants, and all the wonderful viewers. The judgment is over, and now it's time for the announcement of the result. No one is perfect, but making the effort to be perfect is what life is all about. Winning and losing are a part of life. They are two sides of the same coin. Congratulations to all the participants of this first ever inter-house virtual extempore competition organized by South City International School. I would like to thank all the participants for their enthusiastic participation. You all have made this competition extremely interesting, and we all hope you gained valuable experience and life skills. It is not easy to come online, think, and in a minute, deliver your thoughts. Confidence and self-belief has helped you to break boundaries and maybe some perceived limitations. Here's a valuable saying: if you lose today, win tomorrow. In this never-ending spirit of challenge, is the heart of the victor. If you are really going to do something in life, the secret is learning how to lose. Nobody goes undefeated all the time. Now is the final call. Coming to the final results of the competition, hold on to your breath. For the first category, that is category A, and as we call them, our babies of the secondary section, class 6, the winner of this competition is, any guesses? Nishank Day of Creator House with 106 points. A big applause for him, please. For category A, for classes 7 and 8, that is, we have Arjun Sarkar of Achiever House with 128 points. Congratulations, Arjo. You've done a commendable job.
Thank you, ma'am.
Next, we go on to classes 9 and 10. The winner of this competition, of course, from Innovator House with 133 points is Rishabh Mitra. Congratulations, Rishabh. Very good. You'll have done a good job. Then for the category D, for classes 11 and 12, we have Philosopher House with Anish Kumar Arun with 131 points. So congratulations to all the winners. But this is not all. We have the best speaker and the best house to be announced. Who do you all think was the best speaker? Any guesses? Well, the best speaker with 133 points is none other than Rishabh Mitra. A big round of applause for him.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Very good. Congratulations, Rishabh. And then for the house, the best house, a moment of jubilation for Achiever House. Achiever House. All the Achiever House. It's a moment of pride for you all. 464 out of 600. Very well done. Very well done. Thank you so much. And now, again, I would like Roshni to take over. Thank you so much, everyone. It has been wonderful being here and listening to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And congratulations to all the winners. You've done a splendid job. An event is only as good as the people behind it. And to recognize the efforts of those behind the screen, I invite Mrs. Amrita Bhattacharya, a senior secondary English teacher, to deliver the vote of thanks.
As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them, by John F. Kennedy. A graceful and warm morning to our principal, Mr. John Andrew Bagul, our valued judges, teachers, students, and everyone who is watching the program. It is my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. First of all, I would like to thank the captain of our ship, an educator, a visionary, a person who is at the helm of our institution, our beloved principal, for standing by us as a pillar of strength and for encouraging us to do our best. On behalf of South City International School, I express my heartfelt thanks to our esteemed judges, Mrs. Indrani Mitra, Mrs. Anjana Chatterjee, and Mrs. Bhashwati Mukhopadhyay, who spared time from their busiest schedule to grace the occasion. Today, we had the opportunity to hear your thoughts. Your valuable inputs have surely enlightened our participants. I would like to thank our assistant principal, Mrs. Swati Nandi Dutt, for her constant guidance and moral support. We had the opportunity to work with the Dean of Academics, Mrs. Rupika Nath, and we are grateful for her untiring efforts. Thank you, ma'am, for being so approachable and for assisting us with the minute technicalities. I would like to take this opportunity to thank our system manager, Mr. Abhishek Guha, for creating such an innovative software and for giving the much needed technical support. Thank you, Mrs. Akshita Paul Chaudhary, for graciously agreeing to be the timekeeper. Thanks to our tabulators, Mr. Krishanu Mandal, Mr. Michael Datta, and Mr. Edwin Lawrence for their prompt responses. A heartiest thanks to Mrs. Mahuma Chakrabarti for the social media coverage. Thank you to our head of the department, Mrs. Malavika Poddar, for her relentless effort and guidance. Thank you to all team members of the English department for your overwhelming presence and your valuable inputs. A big thanks to the anchors for your effortless and eloquent performance. Our sincere gratitude goes out to all parents and well-wishers for your rock-solid support system and encouragement. Thank you to all those who are watching this event. Your presence motivates us all the more. Finally, I would like to thank our budding speakers for their impressive performances. It has been a pleasure listening to you. In spite of this new normal, you all have been so confident and have adapted so well with the online mode of the competition. Congratulations to each one of you. Once again, thank you all for your cordial cooperation. Now I hand over to Roshni.
Thank you, ma'am. May I now request everyone to kindly rise for the national anthem.
विनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्जल जलधि तरंगा
तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे सब जय गाथा
जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे
जय हे
जय 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 हे
With that, we come to a close of today's Inter-House Secondary English Extempore competition. Thank you to everyone for attending.